Well, we want to bring you an update on a tragic case that we've been following here at Court TV, the disappearance of college student Riley Strain. Now, Strain had been missing since March 8th after reportedly getting kicked out of a bar in downtown Nashville. He was a student at the University of Missouri and was in Nashville visiting fraternity friends. Now, video surveillance caught Strain walking alone the night he went missing away from the bar, and his bank card was eventually found near the banks of the Cumberland River. Well, Strain was eventually found and identified by police on March 22nd in that river, still wearing the same shirt and watch that he had the night that he went missing. But new questions have arisen as officials confirmed that while he was wearing a shirt and watch, he was missing his pants and cowboy boots. Reporter Nick Barris with Scripps News Tennessee brings us up to date on the latest.
A friend of Riley Strain's family says that they ordered a second autopsy, which reached the same basic conclusions as Metro's. But he says the Strain family also has questions about the condition of Riley's body when it was pulled from the river. A dock worker spotted the body downriver from downtown Nashville, where Riley was last seen. Police Chief John Drake confirmed the identity.
Mr. Strain still had the shirt on that he was wearing, still had the watch.
But News Channel 5 has learned Riley's body was found without his jeans or cowboy boots. Riley certainly was fully clothed in the security video the night he disappeared, but when he was pulled from the river 2 weeks later, from the waist down, only his boxer shorts and socks remained.
It is unusual. Normally, if you fall in the river, it's very difficult to get your pants off.
Dr. Bill Bass, now retired, is the founder of the University of Tennessee's famed Body Farm and one of the foremost experts on body decomposition in the world. We asked him about the missing pants and boots. Dr. Bass says it's possible but unlikely they just came off in the river current.
No, they would not come off by themselves.
Dr. Bass says debris could have snagged the clothing or...
I would say that somebody took them off. If you do research on this, which is very difficult because you got to kill a person to do it, but it's difficult to get your pants off. It's difficult when you're alive to get your pants off.
We did speak with Riley's stepdad, Chris, who says he does not right now want to comment on the Friends interview because the family is preparing for Riley's funeral on Friday. But he did say that they will have, quote, big things to share, unquote, next week. Nick Barris, News Channel 5.
All right, joining us to discuss, Deputy Chief of Investigations for Gwinnett County, Georgia, Curtis Clemens, and criminal defense attorney, former prosecutor, Rob Corbett. Rob, I'll start with you. I'm going to get your thoughts on this. I just want to add to this that we do know he was found 8 miles down the river. He was missing for 2 weeks. So I don't know if that plays into the idea of during that time, somehow in that river with the current, could have gotten caught on a branch or something, pulling his pants off, but boots and pants as well. It all seems rather curious to me.
Yeah, I agree. It is a tragic and unfortunate incident. I wouldn't think that the pants and boots came off sometime while the body was in the river. It seems more likely that that would have occurred probably before he went into the river. And the question now remains, is it going to be foul play or was it just a tragic, unfortunate accident that he took his pants off and then went in the river? But I think more needs to be discovered, probably an additional thing. The family's waiting on the final autopsy report or the second autopsy report, and perhaps that could shed more light on this.
Yeah, so now what we know, Curtis, is that there was no blunt force trauma, at least according to police. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know what to believe now. The police were very crafty in that first statement saying, oh, no signs of foul play. He had his watch on, he had his shirt on, leaving out the fact that he didn't have pants and boots. Right. You know what I mean? And I guess the family feels the same way. They thought it was necessary for them to get a second autopsy done. We don't know the results of either of them yet. Right. Your thoughts on whether, number one, there was foul play. Then I want to ask you about why the police wouldn't be more forthcoming with the details.
Well, there's several reasons. One, I think that there was foul play. That's my stance on that. I think something happened to him. Maybe he was robbed. You have a watch that was still there. A smart person, if they know anything about Apple watches, they can be tracked. They can be traced. So you leave that alone. You take the boots. Maybe you like the boots, but to get to those boots, you got to, get those clothes off of them. So That's one issue. Now, why the police responded the way they do, unfortunately or fortunately, sometimes law enforcement is going to rely heavily on the results from the medical examiner when they examine the body. Again, we've said there's been no blunt force trauma to the body, no other visible injuries. So the tendency is to go, well, we have no signs of foul play right here. So that is what law enforcement is dealing with. They're looking for something with the help of the medical examiner to make a case. At this point, they don't have enough. There needs to be further investigation.
Yeah, Rob Corbett, we're also sort of hearing, and again, I don't want to put this out there as fact because we do not and have not been able to confirm this, the fact that there might be either no water in his lungs or little water in his lungs. Now, if the police know this and say there's no foul play, I don't see how they could come to that conclusion. So, you know, I'm not sure where that information is coming from. Again, we have not been able to verify it, but that would tell us a lot, would it not?
Well, definitely. If there's no water or very little water in his lungs, then that would lead one to the conclusion that he did not drown, and then he ends up in the river by some other means. And at this point, with law enforcement sort of withholding information, I can kind of see that if it's still in terms of an active investigation and not releasing everything all at once, or if there's, as more information comes in, they have to try to weigh it out to see what's going to be the most viable route to go. But at this point, there's still a lot of unanswered questions, and further investigation is definitely needed.
Yeah, and so, you know, Curtis, you had a theory, maybe somebody liked the boots that he had on. What we know is that the bank card was found on the banks of the river. Right. That kind of clued them that something might be in the river. Mm-hmm. No wallet found. Right. And again, the pants off, boots gone. Mm-hmm. All of those things, I mean, what scenario do you see? You think there was foul play? Maybe a robbery? They took his pants off, make it easy for them to sort of get what they need and get away. Mm-hmm. They did leave the bank card, which I guess would have been valuable in some way. I don't know. Is that how you think this might have went down?
My theory, yes, exactly. I think this was a robbery. Again, you make him take off his pants. You want to embarrass him so he's not going to run out in public. Take off his pants. We like those boots. Take those boots. Take the wallet. You don't want the credit cards. You don't want the bank cards. You just want the cash. Yeah. You know, and it's gone. You know, you just take the money, take that, send him on his way, and the robbery is complete.
I still got an issue with his frat brothers, letting him leave the bar drunk like that.
Absolutely.
Without going with him. One of them walked down with him, then went back up.
And just left him.
Gotta stay with your brother, man.
Yes.
Gotta stay with your brother.